Hey everyone, Mark Price here at devslopes.com, and in this exciting video you're going to build your very first iOS app. Now this app can be built with Xcode 9, Xcode 10 beta, or the final released version of Xcode 10. We are going to be doing this in Xcode 10 beta, and the app works completely fine in any of those versions of Xcode. And I'm going to click Create a New Xcode Project. And we're going to choose Single View App. This is a one-view application, and we're not going to go into great detail on everything we're doing because I want to show you how simple it is to create your very first iPhone app. And we're going to call this Hello Color and click Next. Now your data here will actually be different, but that's okay. Just go ahead and follow the flow and whatever it says. And you can store this wherever you want. I am creating mine on the desktop. And so what we're going to be building is an app where you can click a button and the color of the background will change. And so we're going to focus over here on the left-hand side. And you're going to see something called viewcontroller.swift. This is a code file. The .swift files are the code files where you write all of your code. And in here, we have something called a view controller, which is a piece of code written by Apple that helps you manage working with views. And we're not going to go too in depth on it right now, but what I want to do is just show you that this file exists and also show you that the main.storyboard file on your left hand side over here is where you're going to create all of your views. It's a drag and drop interface, really cool, and this is where we're going to build out our app. And it's a very simple app. So on the new Xcode 10, you're going to see something up here called an object library, or if you're working with Xcode 9 versions, it's down on the bottom right hand side. And you can also access this library by pressing Command-Shift-L, and that'll pop open a window that lets you find things in the object library. And so I'm going to type in the word button, and you're going to see a button right here. I'm going to click it and drag it onto the screen. You can put yours wherever you want. I'm going to drag mine right here in the middle, like so. And I don't like the default button. I want mine to have some color, so we'll play around with some of the settings. So if you hover over here on the right hand side, you're going to see an object here called the Attributes Inspector. And this is where you can change certain attributes on views. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here, and there's one that says background. And I'm going to pick a blue color. You may not have that there. You can pick whatever color you want, but I'm going to pick this blue one that is sitting right here for me. And then I'm going to scroll back up to the top, and you see something here called text color. I'm going to change mine to white. You can pick whatever color you want for your text. Okay, and so we have this cool looking button here. Now, when we click the button, we want to change the background, but we can't do that with the user interface here. We have to do it in code. And so what we're actually going to do is connect our button to our code file. And how do we do that? Well, there's a few ways, but the easiest way is to go to these double circles here, which is called the Assistant Editor, and click it. It's going to show the code file that is associated with the view here for this view controller in the storyboard. And you can scroll around with the trackpad or your magic mouse if you want to see more of the view here, or if you need more room, there's a little button here at the bottom left that you can click to hide and show this window. And so that's how you can get more space there. And what we're going to do is holding the control key, not command key, but holding the control key, we're going to click and drag from the button over into the code file right after these curly braces that you see here, okay? But not after the ones here on line 19, the ones right in between. And we're going to let go. Make sure that the connection says action, because we want an action to happen. We're saying we want to tap the button. And we're going to call this change color, okay? I'm going to click connect. And it's inserted some code for us and actually connected that view automatically here to the code file, which is really cool. Back at the top right hand side, we don't need that assistant editor anymore, so we're going to go back to the standard editor like so. And what I'm going to do is click the view controller, okay, and in this code file I'm going to click on these curly braces, going to add an extra new line here so it looks nice. And what we want to do is when that button is pressed, we want to change the color on the background. And since I connected the view, the button here to this function, okay, a function is basically a block of code that will run some type of commands. We'll talk more about functions later. And basically you'll see this little circle here that's filled in. That means that your code is connected to your storyboard, okay, to the view. And what we want to do is change the color. And so what we're going to do is we're going to choose purple and red. And so how would we do this? And you don't have to understand everything just yet. We'll learn more as we go along here, but I'm going to create something called a variable. And up here at the top, I'm going to call this is purple equals false. So by default, it's not going to be purple. And then in the change color function, what we want to do is change the color, but we need to know if it's purple or not so we can change it to red or vice versa. So what we're going to do is create a statement here called an if statement. If is purple. So if it's purple, if it's true, okay, what do we want to do? Well, we want to change the color to red. So we're going to say view. Now view is the view that's on the view controller. And so Xcode automatically knows that this view exists, okay? It's already there for us to access. That's why you don't see it anywhere else, because it's inside of the parent view controller, which we'll also talk about in later lessons. And so view.background color equals UI color dot red. So if it's purple, we want to change view.background color to red. And then we want to change the variable is purple equals false. We want to set it to false every time that it's not purple. And then we're going to say else, so if it's purple, do this, else or otherwise, okay, we need to go ahead and change it to purple. So we're going to say view.background color equals UI color dot purple. And then we're going to say is purple equals true. So what we've just done is we've connected a view, or rather a button, the action of a button, to this view controller here. And then we see if it's purple. If it's not purple, we change it to red. Otherwise, if it is purple, or rather if it's not purple, we change it to purple. Okay? And so what we're going to do now is save this file pressing Command S. It also saves automatically for you. And what we're going to do is click this Run button over here. Now, you can have a few different versions of simulators here to run your application, and you can pick any one that you want. Yours might be different than mine, than the one I'm about to run, and where you placed your button may look different on these different screens. But we're not going to worry about getting the button looking correct on all the screens right now. So I'm just going to pick the iPhone 8 Plus and click Run. You're going to see a blue bar here that indicates that it's building, and then it's going to say launching, and your Xcode will actually launch automatically, your Xcode simulator. Okay, and so when you see your button, you know that your app is running. Now again, my button's not centered anymore because the screen that I built on in the storyboard is not the same as the simulator, but we're not worried about that right now. Yours may be in a different spot as well. So if I click the button, it turns purple and red and purple and red and purple and red. So really cool. I mean, the colors are a little bit bright and not very appealing to the eye, but you've just built your very first iOS application, and you've learned how to connect views to code. And this is only a small taste of all the things that you're going to learn, but it always starts here, and it always starts with a storyboard and with a code file, or often a view controller. So congratulations on building your very first app. There's so much more to learn. Let's go ahead and get started.